Hello, great people. We are in the year 2025, but the political permutation, alignment, and realignment for 2027 is in full swing. As candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the same election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, reportedly met to strategize on how to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. You would have been hearing the word coalition. Yes, they met as regards the coalition, and they reportedly adopted a party called the ADC. And that party, they are planning to make sure that the coalition actualizes dreams under the ADC. On this episode of Politics with your sure plug, Dr. Omosoladeji, we'll be looking at the step taken by Obi, Atiku, and El-Rufai, and the likelihood of the success of this particular step. Then we'll be reviewing the party in question, the ADC. What are the chances of the ADC? Is it a strategic party? Is it a good party for the coalition to thrive on? Then we'll be doing some permutations and arithmetic as regards 2027, and also what could bring some issues between El-Rufai and Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Will be dissecting all these issues and a whole lot more on this episode with your sure blog, Dr. Omosoladeji. First, if you are yet to subscribe, of course, do well to click the subscription button. If you don't know, subscription is absolutely free. You will recall that during the 2023 presidential election, candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, scored over 6 million votes. Atiku Abubakar also scored over 6 million votes. And Nigerians have been saying that it is the disunity of the opposition at that time that gave Bola Ahmed Tinubu a win. That if you had the vote of these two people, and of course, if you had even had that of the NNPP and other smaller parties, definitely Bola Ahmed Tinubu wouldn't have been president today. So people have been adding the result, and people have been saying that the best way to unseat the man in Aso Rock is a coalition. Now, it's great, absolutely great that Obi, Atiku are talking. Both of them, they are political heavyweights in their own right, so it's great to see them talking. And you know, the APC can come out and say, well, 2027 is a done deal, but if you are the APC or you are Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let's be truthful to ourselves. If you see your two main opponents that scored over 6 million votes in the last election, and if you see them coming together, definitely you will panic. You will either panic or strategize, which I will come to in a moment. So it's great to see that Obi and Atiku are talking, and they are trying to run under the ADC. But the big question is, who will be the presidential candidate? Who will be the vice presidential candidate? And I'll be getting into the analysis of that in a moment. El-Rufai too is in the coalition. Well, El-Rufai is not politically strong if the result of the Kaduna election in 2023 is anything to go by. But then again, you can't rule out El-Rufai because he is a good spoiler. El-Rufai may not be so politically strong, but then when it comes to permutations, when it comes to being a spoiler, trust me, El-Rufai is a good spoiler. And I would come to how that can be of benefit to especially Peter Obi in a moment. But first, let us talk about the party in question, which is the ADC. The ADC, whether anybody likes it or not, for me as a political scientist, I think it is a good choice, because if you look at the logo is relatable, in the sense that one of the things that people look out for in a political party is the logo. So if the logo is relatable to Nigerians, definitely it gives your party a chance. Everybody knows about handshake. Definitely, handshake is a popular thing. Handshake is something that is relatable to everyone. In fact, can you go out in a day and meet people and kind of like talk to people in your life endeavors and not kind of like stretch out your hand for an handshake? Well, I don't think so. So that means that the logo of the party is relatable. That makes it a good choice. And also, if you look at it, the ADC by alphabet numbering, it will come before APC. D will come before C. So that means that ADC on the ballot paper will come before APC. And that itself is a good strategy. As the opposition, it pays for your party to come before APC than for you to go and use a platform like SDP or PDP. Well, that means that when people are looking for the party, they would have seen APC, they would have passed your party, then they will now be going downward to start looking for your party. No, that is not strategic. So for this ADC, the logo is relatable, and also it comes before APC on the ballot paper. And let us look at it. Why is ADC also a good choice? It is a good choice because SDP has some ties with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You will recall that during the presidential election, when the Buhari boys were trying to skim Bola Ahmed Tinubu out of the race, there were rumors on the street that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was kind of like, I'm putting together an alternative platform, which will be the SDP at that point in time. So if that is true, if you, the main opposition of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now want to go and contest under the same SDP, definitely you are limiting your chances, because it can still have its foot soldiers in that particular party. But this ADC, I think, seems to be the right choice. Now that they are strategizing to form a coalition under ADC, now let's talk about the man that they want to form a coalition against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. With this emerging coalition, Bola Ahmed Tinubu can either panic or strategize. He can either panic or strategize, in the sense that he knows that Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi coming together at this point in time, if the performance of his government is anything to go by, they are a good candidate. So that can make him to panic, and also their coming together can make him strategize as well. And you can see that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has apparently been strategizing, because the wave of defection into the APC has been massive, and you will be wondering that what is making people to join the APC despite the abysmal performance of this government. Why are people joining the APC? Well, Bola Ahmed Tinubu seems to have the magic wand in that regard, so we can call that some form of strategy or the other. But then again, people have asserted that, well, the 2027 election will be between APC and Nigerians, that if all the strong political stalwarts, if they go into the APC thinking that that will guarantee APC a win, well, Nigerians that are going to bed hungry, Nigerians that have no money in their pocket, then they themselves will now unite against all these politicians that have gathered themselves in one place. But then again, we'll see how it will go in 2027, whether that will be the case or not. So Tinubu can either panic, he can either strategize, and he can also strategize out of panic. And I'll explain that to you. Tinubu can also strategize out of panic, in the sense that now that the coalition is coming up, the government can allegedly put pressure on EFCC, on DSS, and they will begin to kind of like profile the strong leaders of the opposition. And don't be surprised when EFCC begin to invite them for questioning, when DSS begin to kind of like invite them to come and kind of like write statement or for questioning. Don't be surprised if that happens. That means that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is strategizing out of panic to decimate the opposition. But will this work? Well, what I can say in that regard is time will tell. Another thing we need to look at is, at the end of the day, candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, seemed to be softening pedal. Because Peter Obi once said that, well, he's not interested in coalition, rather he's interested in rescuing Nigeria. But then again, for you to rescue Nigeria, you need the power. And for you to have the power, you must contest for president under a political party. And for you to win, you need a strong party. You need the support of different political stalwarts. So I think that Obi is beginning to realize that he can really go nowhere if he doesn't soft pedal as regards the coalition. So it's good that Obi himself is talking and is seeing the need for a coalition, having realized that he cannot win without a coalition. And let us go to the supporters of the candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and that of Atiku Abubakar. The supporters of Mr. Peter Obi, popularly called the Obedient, have rejected Peter Obi being Atiku's vice presidential running mate in the 2027 election. Well, that is understandable, in the sense that they are thinking that Mr. Peter Obi should be a presidential material, because it is, as the as the sentiments goes, that it is the turn of the South. Well, that may be understandable, but then again, we must look at something. The Obedient, if they reject Peter Obi running as the vice presidential candidate of Atiku Abubakar, the Obedient cannot also kind of like reject El-Rufai as his running mate if Mr. Peter Obi decides to choose him, in the sense that all this one that El-Rufai is running helter-skelter, it is not for nothing. El-Rufai is also positioning himself, he is also strategizing so that something good can come out for him in all of this arithmetic. But if we look at it, if Atiku Abubakar now decides, if he so decides to trust El-Rufai, Obedient cannot reject Atiku Abubakar, and at the same time they will say they want to reject Nasir El-Rufai. Politics is not a game of saints. We are aware that Nasir El-Rufai allegedly shared this kind of like extremist or kind of like semi-extremist views. That is fine. But then again, you need somebody that have that kind of image that will be acceptable to the core north to run with somebody like Mr. Peter Obi, who happens to be a Christian and he is from the south. So at the end of the day, you cannot reject Atiku Abubakar and at the same time you want to reject Nasir El-Rufai, because either ways, one of them will want to get something out of this. And at the end of the day, definitely, like I said, politics is not a game of saints. No, if you are looking for saints, the saints are in heaven. But politics, particularly the Nigerian politics, is not a game of saints. And that is why somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu decide to go and resurrect a Muhammadu Buhari and pair him with a Yemi Oshibajo, despite the fact that Muhammadu Buhari truncated a democratic government, despite the fact that the Buhari military government allegedly stopped the rail contract of Lagos State, that Lagos State today would have a kind of like an efficient interconnected rail line. Still, Bola Ahmed Tinubu still went to bring such a man and he enthroned him as president. So it shows that politics is not a game of saints. And the earlier the obedient realize this, the better. And also, this coalition is not complete if they don't invite Kwakwanso. They should try to win over Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso to their side. They can offer him something good, because if you are vying for a president, definitely you have over 5,000 appointments to make. Ministers, ambassadors, commissioners, secretary to the government of the federation, chief of staff. Leo Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso to your side, because Kano is one of the K states, and K states are important during election. And it is better to win Kwakwanso over to your side, because whether anybody likes it or not, APC is being arrogant, and the coalition should try and take advantage of the arrogance of Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the APC, to win Kwakwanso to their side. You know that Ganduje and Kwakwanso cannot see eyeball to eyeball, despite the fact that Ganduje was the deputy governor to Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso when Kwakwanso was the governor of Kano State. So the coalition should look into that area in terms of they aligning with political stalwart. I wish them the best. Well, may the best happen to Nigeria in 2027. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with your short plug, Dr. Omosholadiji. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.